Okay, folks, let's go ahead and get started. I want to welcome you to the pinning and swearing in of our next Fire Chief, Dan Hurlock. And so this is certainly an exciting time for the city and an exciting time for the department as well. And so just a couple of comments really quick before we get started. This is really a renaissance for the department. We've got new stations coming in. The time that I've been here, I haven't seen a department morale as high as it is today. And that goes to a lot of the work that's been done by the city council, by the administration, and by our former chief, Gillespie, in getting us to the point where we are today. And so I also wanted to say that nobody gets to a station in life where they're at today without the support of their family. So I really want to thank Kim, Heather, and Haley for your support and letting us borrow Dan for this time. So there's a lot of work ahead and he'll need your support. So thank you very much for being there and being supportive of him. Dan is a local boy. He's come home. He went to Downey High School and went to Long Beach State. You know, one of the things that I get joy out of as a city manager is being able to appoint department heads and seeing what they're able to do and leave their mark on the city. Dan, this is no different. I had the opportunity to meet with you and interview you. I will tell you that I am completely confident that you will lead this city in the right direction. You'll lead that department in the right direction. A couple things about Dan that really stood out to me, not only his dedication and his leadership, but he's got to be in business management from Long Beach State. One thing that was really impressive to me is that having worked with people over the years is that when they bring not only their professional experience in their specific field, but that acumen that they have from the private sector really blends well. You've served on both sides of the counter, both the public and the private side, and you bring that perspective to the fire service. So not only do you know your profession well, but you also have the empathy and the understanding of the business community and the residents, and I think that's really going to serve you well. One thing I will tell you that there will be some tough times ahead, and you'll have to make some tough decisions. But know this, that if you put the city first and its residents, that those decisions will become clear to you, and that'll be your guiding post for everything that you do. As you know, I'm a big believer in making sure that we talk about ethics, because if we're not talking about ethics and the right thing and good governance, then it doesn't trickle down to the organization. So I want to let everybody know that Dan's ethics and his morality are something that are really impressive and made an impact in the interview. So I want to thank you for that. And I know that you'll bring that to the department as you move forward. And so with that said, you know, I don't want to belabor this. I want to get to the exciting part of this. You're going to lead a department that is really, like I said, it's gone through a transition, and it's really in an upswing, and there's a lot to look forward to, and it really is. And I look forward to you working with other department heads in the city that, in my opinion, are some of the best department heads in Southern California. And I will promise you this, that they will support you, I will support you, and whatever assistance that you may need down the road, and that the council will support you as well. So we're here for you. We know that you're going to succeed, and we look forward to your tenure as the fire chief. So let's go ahead and get this badge pinning moving forward. And so if we could, just give me a second here. I know we have a program. So if we can have the invocation by Mr. Greg Welch, the chaplain of the Downey Police Department, lead us in that invocation, please.
Today is the day that the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you now with joy in our heart. In the midst of terrible times in some respects, we have you to thank for this occasion. We thank you for so many things, Lord. The wisdom of our governance here in Downey to make this selection of this fine man as fire chief. We thank you for Mark Gillespie and the fine job that he's done to this point. Thank you for his health restoring as well. Lord, I know this man, Dan Hurlock. I know him as a Christian man. I know him as a friend. I know his family. We've raised our kids together, Lord. But more important, you know him, and you know him as your servant. Thank you for him. Thank you for him and his family. Thank you for the job that he's going to do for us and the protection that the fire department will provide for our city and all our citizens. Go before us now, Lord, and bless this occasion. Bless this fireman, Dan Hurlock, and his family, and this opportunity. In your name we pray. Amen.
We get the flag salute. Can I invite Sean Youngblood, firefighter, paramedic? Here? Yes.
Please remain standing. Join me in the flag salute. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. At this time, I'd like to call upon our mayor, Claudia Fermenta, to come up and say a couple of words.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. What a joyous occasion we have today. On one hand, we are joyful to know that our Fire Chief Gillespie is well, and we rejoice in his service to our city and our community over the last decades. Thank you, Mark, for your contributions to our community. You did so well, and your leadership inspired so many. You will be missed, and we wish you the very best. And Fire Chief Herlock, what a joy it is to have you and welcome you as our new incoming Fire Chief. We are certainly living very, very challenging times, and we would love to be able to throw a big celebration for our outgoing chief and throw a big celebration for you, because this is a momentous occasion for our city. Unfortunately, here we are. But it's not the celebration, and it's not the actual party that matters, right? Those of us that like parties, of course, we would look forward to that, and the cake and all of the people that we love and that have been with us through our journey, and be able to share in this celebration. But I think what marks this so special in such an occasion like this is that our city is fortunate, our city is blessed to be able to welcome you and for you to lead our fire department, which is one of the best. And the journey that we will embark together over the next many years, as long as you decide to serve in this capacity, you will continue to lead with strength and motivation and inspire the young firefighters that join the ranks. And these are tumultuous times, and they require the not just the compromise, but they require the faith and that fortitude, because we are leading through challenging times and facing uncharted territory. And so I just want to say thank you for those of you that are here joining us. And I feel honored, and it is my privilege, and I am humble too, to be serving our city at such a time like this. It is often said that it is not us who pick the time to serve in leadership positions, but it is the Almighty that picks us, right? History chooses who it is that is supposed to serve at a certain time. So we are looking forward to your leadership, and we are looking forward to continuing to serve our community in joyful times, in difficult times, and we will continue working together to ensure that Downey continues to be that beacon and that lighthouse in an area that sometimes can be dark and difficult. So thank you all. Have a wonderful day. I'm looking forward to your leadership. Congratulations.
Now, if I can invite our former chief, Mark Gillespie, to administer the oath of office to Dan.
Thank you, City Manager Levis. It's always good to be back in Downey. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to Dan Hurlock. I'm very proud, very happy, very excited for you, your family. What a tremendous honor it is to serve as the fire chief of the city of Downey. When I think of Chief Herlock, I think of character, ethics, and trust. And trust is the cornerstone of the fire service. It's what the public places in us every day, every one of us. And he has those most important qualities. But being the fire chief requires 4 fundamental leadership qualities. As I already stated, it begins with character. Secondly, it involves a tremendous amount of commitment and resiliency, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Every day, every detail, it all comes down to one person, the fire chief. Thirdly, it requires competence and confidence. And you need to know every aspect of this Downey Fire Department, from fire operations to fire prevention to communications and administration. And lastly, and probably most importantly, most important quality of leadership is our commitment to the community. It comes first. We need to connect to this community and care about this community that we're serving and leading. And when you're committed, when I say commitment, I forgot to mention, it's a commitment to the city. It's a commitment to our city council and their priorities. It's a commitment to the city manager's office and their executive management team and his philosophy on what he wants to get accomplished, how he wants to accomplish it. And so obviously a commitment to every one of our firefighters. So I'll be brief. I just encourage you, Dan, as fire chief, to always be hardworking and humble. Always be fair and objective to everyone and every issue. Be willing to listen and learn at all times. And be a collaborative part of the team, always. I hope you, most importantly, enjoy every moment of it. Even during the trials and tribulations, as City Manager Levis said, they will be coming, but that's part of it. And just enjoy every moment of it, because it truly is, as a public servant, We're always looking out for the community, and it's just an honor to serve as a fire chief. So I know you cherish those same qualities and values. I know you will do a good job, Dan. I'm confident in it. So stay safe, serve well, always. Go out and do great things. At this time, I'd like to call up Fire Chief Dan Hurlock and his wife, Kim. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Dan Hurlock,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will obey the charter and rules of the City of Downey
that I will obey the Charter and the rules of the City of Downey
and follow the regulations, policies, and standards
and follow the regulations, policies, and standards
of the Downey Fire Department,
of the Downey Fire Department,
that I will recognize and uphold the responsibilities of my duties,
that I will recognize and uphold the responsibilities of my duties,
dedicating myself before God and to the public
dedicating myself before God and to the public
who have placed their faith in me
who have placed their faith in me
as the Fire Chief for the Downey Fire Department,
as the Fire Chief for the Downey Fire Department,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to call up Dan's family, Heather Ream, his two daughters, I'm sorry, Heather Ream and Haley Herlock. Thank you.
I'd like to know where the guy is that City Manager Levis was talking about. I'm a little bit nervous right now, but I'm sure I'll be able to stumble through my little speech here and make it pretty painless for you guys, hopefully. So today I'm going to share a few thank yous. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about my background. I'm going to share my 3 tenets for success. And then I'm going to finish up with a pledge that I have for the fire department, the city, and the citizens. So first of all, with the thank yous, I'd like to thank everybody for joining, everybody who's here in attendance today. And then obviously because of COVID, we couldn't all gather here. So I want to thank everybody for taking the time to join us via the live stream. Even though you didn't have to drive down, I know it takes time out of your day to be here and to watch. So thank you. I'd like to thank City Manager Levis and City Council again for selecting me and appointing me as the 10th Fire Chief for the City of Downey. It's an honor to serve the city that I grew up in. I graduated, as City Manager Levis said, right across the street from Downey High. My wife and I got married right across the parking lot at First Baptist Church, which is now Legacy. We had both of our kids in the hospitals here in town. And so we definitely have roots in Downey, and I'm honored to serve as the fire chief here. So thank you. I want to thank the fire department, all the members who have mentored me and challenged me to improve over the years. There are several of them. I'd like to name a few of them specifically. Mostly retired, guys like Chief Turner, Captain Calderwood, Chief Devereaux, and Chief Gillespie, all of whom inspired me and challenged me throughout my career to be better and do better. So thank you for your mentorship and your leadership. I appreciate that. Special thank you to retired Battalion Chief Dave Simmons, firefighter Jamie Smith, and firefighter Doug Montgomery, who played an instrumental role in getting me started in the fire service and talked me out of my electrical business and make a good decision to get involved in the fire service. And obviously, if that had never happened, I wouldn't be here today. So thank those guys for that. Most of all, I've turned into a big ball baby since my kids became adults, and also whenever I talk about mom, and I'm going to be talking about mom and family, so I'll struggle through this. Hopefully, it's not too painful for you guys. But I want to thank my family most of all for their unending support through all the ups and downs, changing careers at the age of 34 for me to get into the fire service. The crazy work schedule that belongs to the fire service that we all adopted as a result, missing birthdays and holidays, having to deal with me, not always available and not always at home because I was studying for a promotional exam or out on a strike team for 7 to 14 days occasionally. So you guys are my motivation. And my strength. So thank you. There's going to be other parts where I do that too, so just be ready. So I have 3 tenets for success, and I shared those with City Manager Levis when we talked about me being the fire chief as we were going through the interview. And those 3 tenets are work hard, make good decisions, treat everyone with respect. I knew that those 3 tenets were always in my life as an adult, but I haven't always been able to articulate those 3 things, especially when it comes to any level of success that I've had. You know, it was hard to express why until a couple of years ago when I attended the All-American Leadership Academy. And during that process at the academy, the leaders there who set up the program made us take an introspective look at ourselves and really discover why we do the things that we do and really define why we do those things. They made us identify meaningful moments in our lives that really had an impact that that stood out as as we're even as young as young kids. So through that process, I was able to identify those 3 tenets, and I kind of adopted those as my 3 tenets for success. So hard work. There's multiple reasons why I value hard work, but the one most important story that stands out, or the one most important factor that stands out as to why that's a value in my life, has to do with my mom. Her and my father got divorced when I was very young, and she packed up from Arizona, packed up everything, all 6 of her kids, and moved to California on her own. She could have taken the easy road and moved to the Midwest where her father was and where all of her siblings were, but she decided to come to California and ended up landing in Downey. And so I'm thankful for that. But when she got here, she didn't have a job. We didn't have a place to live. So she needed to find a full-time job, find a place for us all to live, which she did. And of course, renting a house to a single mother with 6 kids back then, no homeowner probably wants to do that. But we were fortunate. She found a full-time job. But what I remember the most about my mom when it comes to hard work is that every morning, even though she worked full-time, she would get up, get herself ready for work. She would get the kids up, get us cleaned up and dressed. She would feed us breakfast, pack our lunch, send us off to school, and then she would go to work. After work, she would come home and her day wasn't over. She would help us all with our homework, fix us dinner, get us bathed and in our pajamas and tuck us into bed, and then get up and do it all over again the next day. And then I remember too, especially on the weekends, she would be doing housework every Saturday. And if she didn't have anything else to do, Sunday would be her day to rest. But that's the example that was pulled out of the Leadership Academy that epitomizes the hard work aspect. And my mom was the epitome of somebody who worked hard, somebody who had the grit and the drive and determination to not let life's circumstances keep her down. So that was my example of hard work. Good decision making, make good decisions. My second tenet. I started dating my wife when we were in high school. She was a freshman, I was a junior. Her family was very goal oriented, especially her mom. And by the time I graduated from high school, I think Mary Lou thought, I think this guy's going to be around for a while, so I need to get him on the right track. And I remember she had some cassette tapes of a speaker named Zig Ziglar, and it was a How to Stay Motivated series. And so she loaned me those tapes. And the gist of the How to Stay Motivated series and Zig Ziglar was setting goals and working to achieve the goals. But what I pulled out of it was that, yeah, you have to set the goals, but in order to achieve them, you have to make good decisions. And so through that series, I listened to it, I don't know how many times. There were about 10 or 12 tapes. And I listened to it multiple times, driving back and forth when I was going to Long Beach City College and to work, back and forth to work. But that is a prominent example of when making good decisions became important to me. And so that was a result of Mary Lou and loaning me those tapes. So thank you. Treat everyone with respect is my third tenet. And again, I have an example from family, this time my father-in-law. If I've heard John say this once, I've heard him say it 1,000 times. people are more important than things. Sorry. And I know he holds that true. He served his entire life helping people in the financial world, and I hold that true as well. And I'm serving people now in the fire department, but I've always had a service attitude, even when I was doing construction and electrical. But he holds that statement true to his life. I hold it true in my life. And the thing that brings it home to me and relates that, how true it is for me is, you can't play football by yourself. You can't put out a fire by yourself. And for me, I certainly can't face life's crisis by myself. I rely on friends and family. And so in order for me to exemplify that, I have to treat people with respect, and hopefully in turn, that respect gets reciprocated to me. So anyway, those are my 3 tenets for success. And so I want to finish up by making a pledge. And I pledge to bring those 3 tenets of success, to provide leadership to the DFD, to the Downey Fire Department, to Area E, and all the departments in LA County and the surrounding area, and the fire service in general throughout the state. I pledge to bring those 3 tenets of success, to provide support to other city departments, to city management and city council, and especially to Dean Milligan, Chief Milligan, and the police department. I know that we are, as emergency services, we have to make sometimes life and death decisions about about keeping the citizens safe, and also about sending our members into harm's way and potentially an unsafe situation for them. So I want to offer my support to you as well. I pledge to bring my 3 tenets for success, to continue to provide service to the citizens of Downey at the level that they have come to expect and deserve. The Downey Fire Department was established 63 years ago. I'm honored to serve as the 10th Fire Chief, leading this great department that's filled with a lot of very talented, hardworking, dedicated men and women. And I'm humbled by the faith that all of you have put in me to fill this position. So thank you very much. Thank you all for coming today, and thank you for joining us online. And I'm looking forward to the challenges that we have ahead, and ready to face them head on. So thank you very much. And I think that ends our ceremony. Edwards.